Welcome back to our political science session number 2 today. And listen carefully. In the morning session, we discussed about the powers of the legislature and the methods the legislature is using to control the executive. So we know that legislature, basically the Lok Sabha, the House of the Representatives, basically, right? The members of the Indian Parliament, I mean, basically in Lok Sabha, they are the elected representatives. So they have some powers to control the legislature. Okay, so we discussed that the various methods are there. Basically, the legislature using to control the executive. Okay, so executive cannot take any decision without the consent of the legislature. So it is so important. Okay, the legislature powers of the legislature, it is too important for us. Okay, next one we want to discuss. So far we discussed about the no confidence motion, completed that. Okay, so the final paragraph says that the parliament can effectively control the executive and ensure a more responsive government. So the parliament, okay, including both the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, they are able to control the executive and ensure a more responsive government. In the sense, okay, it is the responsibility of the government to take care of the needs and aspirations of the people, right? If any people facing any problem, and it is the responsibility of the government to look after or solve such kind of issues there. Okay, so the legislature create the executive or the ministry powerful and become a responsive government. It is, however, important for this purpose that there is adequate time at the disposal of the House. The members are interested in discussion and participate effectively, and there is willingness to compromise among the government and the opposition. Clear or not? So in the last 2 decades, there has been a gradual decline in the session of Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies and time spent on debate. So the members of the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, they are free to participate in the discussion. Okay, if they don't want, so they cannot, or they can leave from such kind of discussions, right? They are free to do that. They want to, means if they want to participate, they can participate. If not thinking so, they are able to leave from such kind of discussions there. Okay, so freedom is there for the legislative council members. Clear? So basically we know that so far the last 2 decades experience says that number of legislative council members are today, or for the last 2 decades, they are not that interested to participate in the decision making, right? Okay, so we completed all these aspects here, the powers of the legislature and how the legislature using those powers to control the executive. Next one, the last and final point almost here. What do the committees of parliament do? So we know that there are number of committees that are appointed by the government to study about various issues. Okay, related with the bill, the parliament first appoint a committee to study that, okay, and get information from the people regarding that particular bill or particular suggestion. Okay, so the committees. A significant feature of the legislative process is the appointment of committees for various legislative purposes. Okay, so the important feature of legislative process, making a bill into law, the first activity is appointing a committee for it. Okay, the appointment of committees for various legislative purposes to make laws. Number of committees already what you can say appointed by the parliament. These committees play a vital role not merely in lawmaking but also in the day-to-day business of the house. Okay, so these committees basically playing a very important role, a vital role in the day-to-day activities of the legislature, I mean the parliament and the lawmaking. Okay, their activity is too important for making the laws and the day-to-day activities of the parliament. That's what the house. Since the parliament meets only during sessions, we know that regularly and every day there is no parliament sessions. Okay, some particular days are there for that, some seasons are there for that. Okay, winter parliament, summer parliament, I had our such words. Okay, summer session of the parliament or winter session of the parliament. This winter session, right? Since the parliament meets only during sessions, it has very limited time at its disposal. So there is limited period, limited time is with the parliament. So they have to do number of activities with that limited period. The making of law, for instance, requires in-depth study of the issue under consideration. So if the parliament want to make a law, it is important they want to study that properly. They want to know the drawbacks. They want to know the positive side. They want to know the negative side of the law. Then only they will approve it. Okay. So this in turn demands more attention and time. So the parliament always want to use long period of time to discuss, to understand the bill, to give the consideration or the consent. Similarly, there are other important functions also. So parliament is not only for making laws, number of other functions also are there for the parliament. Okay, there are other important functions also, like studying the demands for grants made by various ministers. Okay, demand for grants. Okay, so the ministers, they want money to run their ministry. Okay, yes or no? Almost all the ministers, they want money to run their administrative wing. Yes or no? Want to spend or not? Example, for the defense minister, money needed for maintaining the military, army, right? Of course. Home minister required money for maintaining the central reserve police, reserved armed force. Okay, like that, right? They have to maintain it. Clear? Railway minister want money for maintaining the railway system. Okay, like that. Various ministers need money there to run their administration. Okay, so it is too clear. The parliament only the factor basically granting or giving permission for these ministers to use money for maintaining their departments. Clear? Okay, so it is the responsibility of the parliament. Looking into expenditure incurred by the various departments, investigating cases of corruption, etc. Next activity. So the parliament is always studying about the expenditure that made by various departments, investigating cases of corruption. Corruption in the sense we know that it's a vast country, right or not? The administrative mechanism is too complex. So we are able to find the problem of corruption everywhere. So that's the most important problem that what we are facing in a democratic country like India. It is termed as corruption. Okay, do you know what you mean by corruption? What is corruption? What is corruption? Anybody? Corruption, what is corruption? Corruption, what is that?
Doing some activities that is illegal.
That is illegal. Okay, not smuggling.
Yeah.
Smuggling, yeah. Smuggling is not corruption, right? Corruption in the sense what we can say? The ministers, officers, the bureaucrats, they will unnecessarily collect commission or money from the people to do something in favor of. Clear or not? That is what corruption. So, Ashish Ben is going to office to get a what certificate? Income certificate. Income certificate. Okay. So to get a particular loan from the a bank or a particular institution there. Okay. But the officer concerned is not giving the certificate to Mr. Ashish Beni. So Ashish Beni finally says that, sir, okay, I will give 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees. Just do it. Okay. So the officer, okay, he is willing to do now. So it is called to be corruption. It is his duty to do that. Clear or not? Okay, for doing that he don't want to take money from that public, should not do that. Or this minister is collecting what we can say commission from different companies for giving or granting them to do some job or do some activities or developing the infrastructure for the people. Clear or not? Commission for constructing bridge, commission for constructing houses, commission for so and so, number of different types of such kind of commission cases are there. Contractors, commission for the contractors, they will get it. Okay, so giving contractor for some particular contractor to construct a road, construct a bridge. Okay, for every such kind of activity they will take commission. This is kind of corruption, right or not? Okay, so literally speaking, so Okay, they should not do that because they are the servant of the people. They want to do this for the sake of the democracy and the sake of the humanity, basically the citizens of the country. Okay, for that they should not take money, should not take a commission. Their duty is just to complete the task. Clear or not? So the corruption is a major problem that what we are facing there. Wherever we observe, we can see corruption in the state or in the central level. Right or not? Wherever the sense, some departments are there, corruption-free departments are there. Okay, can you say which department is that? Corruption-free department. There is no chance for corruption. Okay, government teachers, think about them. There is any chances for corruption? If students will give money for them for giving more marks, any chances are there for that? Okay, one of my friend once told that, okay, I am going to fail in the examination, the board examination, okay, state board examination. So what I am going to do, we'll pin 1,000 rupees note along with the answer sheet and we'll write a note there. Sir, please take this money and give me some marks. Can you do that? Impossible, right? Okay, so not possible. It's not possible. Some departments are there, corruption-free departments also are there. So we can find it out. Okay, let it. Okay, come back. So it is the responsibility of the legislature to look after these affairs there and basically observe the corruption, cases of corruption, etc. Parliamentary committee performs such function. So for all these activities, different committees are there, basically termed as the parliamentary committees. Parliamentary committees. What are the activities of the parliamentary committee? Okay, looking into expenditure incurred by the various departments, investigating cases of corruption. Okay. So, Parliament committees perform such function since 1983, next year here, 1983. 1983, India has developed a system of parliamentary standing committee. So, parliamentary standing committee system, okay, that came into effect in India in the year or since 1983. Parliamentary standing committee. Next one. There are over 20 such departmentally related committees are there. So in Indian Parliament there are nearly 20 such kind of parliamentary committees are there. Okay, just observe it. There are nearly 20 parliamentary committees are there in India for observing these kind of activities. Okay. So all these committees are related with the different departments. So departmentally related committees. Department in the sense what do you mean department? Various departments are there, right? The group of people under a minister or group of bureaucrats under a minister, they are doing some activities related with one particular issue or one particular task is there for them. Okay, example, Home Minister and the officers under him, what they will do? They are only observing the home affairs there, right or not? What is going within the country, law and order, such kind of things they will observe here, right or not? They will not interfere in the activities of the railway or the activities of the defense. They will not interfere in that. That's not their duty at all. Clear? Understand? So various departments are there. Various departments are there. For these departments, various parliamentary committees are there to support them in their activity and scrutinize and observe them what they are doing. Okay. So their expenditure and the bill that came up in the house relating to the department. Okay. So standing committees supervise the work of various departments, their budget, their expenditure and bills that come up in the house relating to the departments. Clear? So they will scrutinize it, they will observe it. Okay, what is the revenue? Okay, how they spend the money? What is their budget? Okay, so related with the defense, for last year we heard number of newses, allegation, a case of corruption. Okay, what is that? Indian government purchased dash planes from which dash country? Tell me. A famous news, a famous issue. It was last year.
From Russia, they bought some
come on.
planes for
planes, okay,
defense.
but it is not Russia. That's not Russia. It is the Rafale jets. Rafale jets from, tell me, Ramal.
France.
Yeah, France, correct. Rafale jet planes from France. So fighter jets, not just jet planes for transportation, but it is a fighter jets. Clear or not? We ordered for 36. At the same time, we observed that we got the newses. We read the newses in international media that Other countries also bought the same plane from France by spending just half of the amount that what we spent. Okay, so number of trolls came there. Okay, so India purchased full option planes, it seems. Full option sense what? The most modern variant. So cars we know that. Okay, standard variant is there, medium variant is there, and high end variant also is there in cars. Okay, like that. There's a comment everywhere. What is that? India purchased the full option Rafale jets from France, it seems. Those countries purchased the base model, it seems. Okay, no, not at all. Okay, some other activities are there behind that. So we read the news related with that, the Rafale scam. We studied that. Okay, we read it. So just understand that. So it is responsibility of the parliamentary committee to study about that and give a report on. Okay, so they will not allow the government to spend money irrationally. Okay, clear or not, or without any sense? Clear? So it is the responsibility of the parliamentary committee to save the money, observe the budget and check it how the different ministries are spending that. Okay, the expenditure and the bills that came up to the house relating to the department. Apart from the standing committees, the joint parliamentary committees have occupied a position of eminence in our country. So parliamentary committees are there. Next to one other type of committees are there called to be the joint parliamentary committees. Joint parliamentary committees. Okay, so that also have an important position in our country. So joint parliamentary committees basically termed as JPCS. So you can listen or you can read these words in different newspapers related with their activity. JPCs. Okay, so hereafter JPCs means you have to understand one thing. What is that? Joint parliamentary committees. Joint parliamentary committees can be set up for the purpose of discussing a particular bill, like the joint committee to discuss bill, or for the purpose of investigating financial irregularities. Members of these committees are selected from both houses. So the way it says joint parliamentary committee, joint from or jointly, okay, from both houses, both houses. So this committee is appointed for studying different bills, okay, or for the purpose of investigating financial irregularities. Any financial trouble is there, or any particular department spend more money than the budget, or fake accounts are there, it is their responsibility to investigate and find it. Clear? That's called to be JPCs. Okay. Next one, members of these are selected from both houses. The committee system has reduced the burden on the parliament. So this parliament committees or joint parliamentary committees basically reducing the burden of the parliament. So parliament don't want to discuss this kind of things in the parliament session. Okay, but this parliament committees or joint parliament committees will solve these problems before or after the parliament sessions there. Okay. Many important bills have been referred to the committees. Okay, so the parliament will refer the bills to the committees. Committees will sit and they will discuss, they will learn it up, and they will give the report to the parliament. So parliament have all power to accept it and reject it. Clear? That we discussed already. Clear? So the parliament has merely approved the work done in the committees with a few occasional alteration. Okay, so sometimes without any alteration they will accept it. Sometimes with some alteration, some changes. Alteration in the sense changes. That's what alteration here. Of course, legally speaking, no bill can become law and no budget will be sanctioned unless approved by the parliament. So we know that without the consent of the parliament, no bill will become a law or no budget will be sanctioned unless, okay, approved by the parliament. Underline that. So parliament's consent, its approval, it is necessary, very important. Okay, but the parliament rarely rejects the suggestion made by the committees. Okay, but almost all the cases and almost all the time the parliament will accept the alteration or suggestions that made by the parliamentary committee or joint parliamentary committees. Is that idea clear? Fine. So write down the question there. What are the functions of the parliamentary committee and the joint parliamentary committee? What are the functions of the parliamentary committees and the joint parliamentary committees? Joint parliamentary committees. Okay, completed. Next one. How does the parliament regulate itself? So, parliament don't have unlimited powers, right? Clear or not? They want to regulate themselves. Regulate, control. Clear? So, we already know that the legislature is powerful to control the executive. The same time, there are number of powers are with the legislature. So, the legislature don't want to misuse these powers. Okay, so for that also there are number of regulations are there in the constitution. Okay, that controlling the legislature. Okay, so here parliament as mentioned earlier is a debating forum. Debating forum, discussions and debates only in the parliament. After the discussion and debate only, okay, it will hand over or it will send it to the executive. It is through it is thorough debates that the parliament performs all its vital functions. So, debates are considering as an important function of the parliament. Such discussions must be meaningful and orderly so that the functions of the parliament are carried out smoothly and its dignity is intact. So, smooth functioning of the parliament related with the discussions. Clear or not? So, smoothly the parliament wanted to complete various discussions without making a trouble. Clear? So, we know that if you are observing newses, the past newses from various years, we are able to find that there is number of fights, conflicts within the state legislatures, even in the central legislature. The most famous one that's in our state, Kerala. Okay, we have number of times news channels will repeatedly will show that. Okay, so the last government I'm thinking so, the Congress led the UDF government. Okay, almost end of the tenure term, there's a clash between the ruling party and the opposition. Okay, related with the budget. Like in the budgetary session only I'm thinking so, budget session I'm thinking so. So great clash between these two people there. So these members from the opposition, they totally distracted the house. Okay, distracted in the sense literally they distracted there. They took the chair of the speaker and threw that to somewhere. Okay, so such kind of activity. You have observed that news there. Number of times the news channels will repeatedly will show that and will say that this is the attitude of our members. Okay, that elected by the people. Okay, such kind of news we are able to say. Such kind of things will be there. Okay, so it's a spirit of democracy, right? Yes or not? Tell me, that's the spirit of democracy. So they have to behave properly, right or not? That's their responsibility. They are elected representatives and their responsibility is to, what is that? Protect the property of the state, right? But what they did there in that house there. So we observed that, right? Let it be. So these are the history basically teaching us, should not repeat it. That's what we are learning history, right or not? If it is a mistake, history says, should not repeat it. Okay, if it's a victory, history says, follow this. Clear or not? Understand? So that's what the importance of learning history there. Okay. But remember, we are not learning history here. What is that? Political science, right? But political science also has a history, right? Okay, so history, what is that? History and political science is strictly connected there. Today's politics is tomorrow's history, right? Today's politics is tomorrow's history. So yesterday's politics is today's history. Clear or not? Clear or not? Yesterday's politics is considering yesterday's history. So strictly connected. Okay. So remember, okay, the constitution itself has made certain provision to ensure smooth conduct of business. Okay, so there are a number of constitutional provisions are there for smooth conduction or smoothly conducting the business within the legislature. The presiding officer of the legislature is the final authority. Who is that? The presiding officer? The speaker. Okay. Here what happened? His chair was distracted. Okay, let it. So, the presiding officer of the legislature is the final authority in matters of regulating the business of the legislature. So, he is the authority to regulate, control the activities within the legislature, the state legislature or the central one, for the parliament. Okay, there is one more way in which the presiding officer controls the behavior of the members. Okay, here who is the presiding officer? For the Lok Sabha, it is the speaker and the deputy speaker. In the absence of speaker, deputy speaker. And in Rajya Sabha, it is the vice president of India and deputy speaker also is there. In coming to state legislature, speaker, deputy speaker. Okay, clear. So it is their responsibility to control the house. You may have heard about the anti-defection law. What do you mean by defection? Anti-defection law. So it's a very famous in India. Okay, very famous, this defection. What is that? Mostly newspaper we can read that. Okay, 2 MLAs from Congress jumped to BJP. 4 MPs from so and so state jumped from Congress to BJP. CPM to BJP. But BJP to Congress. CPM to Congress. Like that, these people will jump from one party to another. Okay, why they are jumping? What is the reason behind that? It's personally money motto, right? Money and power. The people want money and power. So the political party where they're standing, if they are neglecting them, if they feel they are neglected, or there is a good chance is there in another party, what will happen there? They will jump from this party to another. Clear or not? So crores of rupees. Okay, so there is a number of memes and trolls are there related with this also. What is that? If a petrol price increased, easily we can able to understand that BJP purchased some Congress MLAs or some Congress MPs. Clear? So in political science class, we are not supporting or opposing any political parties here, just analyzing the situation. Right or not? Okay. I am not the part of any particular political party. Okay. Clear? But I have clear politics, that is another thing. Okay, so I cannot say that a person without politics. Politics is there, but in the class, that is not our concept. Okay, we are not going to support anyone or oppose anyone. We want to analyze the things there. Okay, so many number of trolls are there. What is that? Today petrol price is going to increase. So definitely the people can say that now BJP is going to purchase Congress MLAs or CPM MLAs the next day. Okay, next day we are able to find, okay, bad luck. We are able to find such kind of news in the newspaper. Number of times that repeatedly that happened. Okay, that's what they are using the same technique to create these memes and trolls there. Okay, let it. So that's termed as defection. Okay, example, the people elected. So Amal Raj is the candidate from a party, so and so party, party A. Clear or not? So he got elected. The people give vote for him. So he is the present MLA for our constituency, Mr. Amal Raj. Okay, MLA. Okay, but what happened? The opposition party, they want to one seat to make the government. So they told Amal Raj, we will give you 500 crore rupees. 500 crore rupees. And a ministerialship also. You will become the home minister of the state for next 5 years. Amal Raj will accept it or not? Amal Raj, will you accept it or not? Amal Raj won't accept. Okay, see, he has some, what we can say, loyalty to his own party. So Amal Raj is not going to order that, accept it. Okay, he rejected that 500 crore rupees and the the home ministership, right? Okay, let it Amal Raj, that's very good. So if you are accepting it, is called as what? Defection, all right? Change the party allegiance. Why he changed? Okay, for money or power. Money or power. But there is a law is there. If defection is there, okay, a person is fine, he is jumped from one party to another. After the election, his power will go. The government will take away, or the constitution will take away the power, and he or she is no more an MLA. Clear? Understanding or not? So it's a act or a law to stop this defection. Okay, clear? So you may have heard about the anti-defection law. Most of the members of the legislature are elected on the ticket of some political party. Ticket of some political party. Okay, on behalf of some political party. What would happen if they decided to leave the party after getting elected? Okay, that is termed as defection. For many years after independence, this issue was unresolved. Clear? Still it is unresolved. Don't think that it is solved now. Still it is unresolved. But a law is there. Finally, there was an agreement among the parties that a legislature who is elected on one party ticket must be restricted from defecting to another party. All parties agreed that. An amendment to the constitution was made, that is 52nd amendment in the Indian constitution in the year 1985. 1985. So the rule or a law against defection that made in the year 1985, considering as the 52nd amendment in the Indian constitution. Okay. This is known as the anti-defection amendment. It has also been subsequently modified by 91st amendment, okay, and made another changes in the 91st amendment, okay. The presiding officer of the house is the authority who takes final decision on all such cases, okay. Who will take decision related with the defection? Okay, the Speaker of the House. Speaker of the House. So Speaker of the House from the ruling party means who will take the decision? Another problem, right? Okay, so a dilemma will be there, a trouble will be there. So still it is not solved. If it is proved that the member has defected, then such member loses the membership of the house. Besides, such a person is also disqualified from holding any political office like a ministership, etc. etc. Okay, rule says that. Clear? Next one, what is defection? If a member remains absent in the house when asked by the party leadership to remain present or votes against the instruction of the party or voluntarily leave the membership of the party, it is deemed as defection. Clear? Clear or not? So underline and write that question. What do you mean by the term defection? Defection. Clear? Ashish Elvina, please turn on your cameras. Ashish. Okay, so listen. Defection. Write down. So after election, the elected representative, he is changing his party from, okay, the party who gives the ticket to some other party. That activity is termed as a defection. Clear? Okay, underline that. Okay. So if a member remains absent in the house when asked by the party leadership, okay, so after election the party want to prove the majority in the house there, right? Yes or no? So all the MLAs and all the MPs want to come to the legislature to prove the majority, right? Clear or not? Okay, but sometime other party leaders will purchase these people, these MLAs and MPs there, okay, by spending more money. Okay, then they will go for some, they will go and hide somewhere. Clear? Okay, hide somewhere. So that time the leader of the that particular party can give a whip, okay, that to the speaker that so and so person is not present. Okay, this is maybe considering as a defection. Okay, here house when asked for the party leadership to remain present or votes against the instruction of the party. Okay, vote against the instruction of the party. The party says to vote for its candidate, its prime minister candidate or its chief minister candidate, but that MLA or MP is rejecting that, that also considering as rejection, I mean defection. Okay, the party or voluntarily leave the membership of the party. Okay, so suddenly he is resigning from the party, also considering as a defection, and if it is happen, all the powers of that person will dissolve. Okay. So experience of the past 20 years shows that the anti-defection amendment has not been able to curb defection. That's what our point. What is that? What is the point? Okay. Experience of the past 20 years shows that the anti-defection amendment has not been able to curb defections, but it has gives additional powers to the party leadership and the presiding office of the legislature over the members. So this rule making some or giving some powers to the presiding officers or the party leadership, but still today we can say that this is not actively did or performed by most of the presiding officers, I mean the speakers or the party leaders there. Got that? What is defection here? Okay, so this is all about the chapter legislature. Okay, legislature. So we discussed about the powers of the legislature. Okay, system of election we discussed already, the powers of the parliament. Okay, the powers of Lok Sabha, powers of Rajya Sabha, special powers of Lok Sabha, special powers of Rajya Sabha, functions of Lok Sabha, functions of Rajya Sabha. Clear? Okay, then what we learned there? Okay, the procedure to make a law, clear or not? And how the legislature is controlling the executive, how the legislature is controlling the executive. Please check that all these questions are there or not. Okay, it will be there, it want to be. Okay, so that next one, what is that? How the legislature is controlling the executive and how the legislature controlling itself. through the parliamentary committees. Parliamentary committees. What are they? The parliamentary committee and the joint parliamentary committee. Okay. Next one, the process, or what you can say, a problem of defection. What steps are taken by the government to solve the problem of defection? Clear? So these are the basic things from this chapter. Okay, hope these things are clear for you. Yes or no? Tell me, things are clear. Okay, then read the textbook one more time and learn those things properly. Clear? So observe here. Okay, what do the committees of the parliament do? That's a question. Okay, number of caricatures also we are able to find from this chapter. Number of caricatures are there. Okay, so many things are there in Hindi also. I think you are able to read Hindi, right? You know that, right? So just read it and tell me what the meaning. Okay, so tomorrow I will ask. Just observe it clearly, the caricatures. From page number, not down, page number 118. Next caricature from page number 113. Ready cartoon, page number 108. Page number 108. Okay. Still one question is pending, right? Did you give this answer?